37th Annual Brooksville Raid. It's one of the country's largest Civil War reenactments. It's not representative of an actual battle, but the action did take place here, but not anywhere near on this scale. But this is an excellent venue and an incredible event. So in a few moments they're going to start opening fire, so we're going to turn it over to that. Hope the wind isn't too bad. For now we're going to
using the drum and the pipe and the bugle for commands. There were a number of different drum rudiments that would give direction to regimental commanders. When a courier was not spreading out into one of the surface lines. Townspeople are becoming concerned. You see understanding that Brooksville Raid supplies, outdated arms, and the sound of gunfire. And what they do have, household goods, it looks like the home workers have reformed. The popular rifle of the time was the Enfield for the Confederates. The Federals, Springfields, because the federal government owned and possessed armories and foundries, created weapons, gave them a distinct advantage. Sporadic gunfire. Looks like the federal troops are going to engage the town. The blue flag you see is the regimental flag. Obviously, the colors of the Union, the stars and stripes. Slides above you here are most likely Henry rifles. They're able to fire them in faster sequence than the Enfield. The Enfield was a musket with a single shot. Had to be loaded.
draw harder. And then sheriff stopped the harder draw. Bring the hammer down at the top, remove the snap cap, pull the cap from the cap pouch, and put that cap on the cone. At that time, you're listening to
So the Union now has a flank on the east and one on the south. Since the township of Brooksville is definitely in peril, hopefully the troops of the Union would not create any mischief in town. Understanding that birds that are there, they're firing back. You see in that larger formation, two small flags, federal blue with a circle in the center. Those are guidons. That between the two guidons on the ends of the formation and the colors to the center allows those regiments and companies and battalions to march in order, to maintain their battle line facing the front where the action is taking place. The guidons and colors are moving, the entire regiment in step. Normally, a company would consist of approximately 100 men. And several companies, 3 to 4, 5 companies, up to 10 for a regiment. The regiment being approximately 1,000 men. Within that regiment, you would have battalions, 3 or 4 companies. artillery crews for the Confederates that moved in. Those are light cannons, here to be mountain howitzers, a small artillery piece. Craig will tell you a little more about that in a moment. Confederates are in town, and the ladies are most likely feeling some relief. General troops appear to be moving back on the south side, but the largest portion of that federal contingent is to the east of town, in full strength. If you take a look at this, there was really only one large-scale engagement in Florida, that was the Muskie or Ocean Pond. What you see today is a representation, a scenario of what might have occurred in around Florida. And if you're looking at it now, possibly be more realistic than trying to interpret a large-scale battle such as Antietam or Gettysburg, Chancellorsville, Fredericksburg, those large-scale battles that employed tens of thousands of soldiers. In 1862, there was some coastal action in Crystal River. The USS Beauregard spotted a sloop at the mouth of the Crystal River. When they came in, unfortunately, there was another sloop hidden in a little inlet, a small island. They tried to overtook an armed boat. A storm came in, and another armed boat was sent in. A small skirmish occurred. The Federals left. That was in Crystal River in 1862. In Tampa, the same year, what's known as the outbreak and turned an open fire on the town and demanded that the town surrender. We eventually left, found dark, and Tampa was still in Confederate hands. You understand that what Craig said, these reenactors are loading their weapons in pretty much the same way that they were loaded in the 1860s, short of dropping a true projectile down the barrel. They're formed up in companies. These companies obviously are smaller than the 100 strong companies, but they're operating on the same concept of warfare, Napoleon tactics of lining up and shooting straight into each other. By the time the Civil War occurred, had become outdated because of the rifling that Craig was telling me about in the muskets. The rifling was a spiral group that allowed for more accuracy and distance. So they didn't fire as close to each other as they did in the American Revolution. Now there were a variety of commands for the companies. The company commander would drill the companies. The first sergeants would drill the companies for hours and hours, knowing that they didn't fight all the time, but they did live in camps together and they drilled, and it was imperative that they were able to respond to commands without a great deal of hesitancy. So these companies would practice moving into formation, they would drill to being able to change the direction of fire. Those commands were mastered during the time that they were not engaged in camp. The company would come up in battle formation, they would be marching in column of 4, and a company commander calls that entire column of 4 to form up at 90 degrees to the column in one wide formation, such as you see the largest. Once they were in line, they would be called to halt and then to load, and that's where they went through that process of loading the weapon. These troops seem to be very close to each other. Notice that they fire in an angle up in the air. Citizens of the town of London evacuated. They have their possessions with them. They're leaving for the safety of another place. The Federal Guard are withdrawing. The Confederates have discouraged that overtaking of the township. Once the company was in battle formation, they would be given the command fire by company, which meant every man, front and rear rank of that company would fire at the same time. That was a very effective and heavy at the enemy. The only problem with that was that once the entire company fired, the entire company is not loaded and ready to fire again. And so it left windows of opportunity for the opposing forces. If you notice, some of the companies will fire one firing command was called. Fire by files from the right or fire by files from the left, and they would start the front and rear rank and the far right of the company would fire simultaneously. They would recover arms. The second man and his file marker behind him would fire. They would go down the line, down the company line. By the time the company had fired, the first fire would have had time to reload and start firing again. And the standard was that after the company was given the command fire by files, and once they fired, the understanding was that they would fire at will. So they would continue to fire until ceasefire was called by them. Now you can see on the west side, the cavalry unit troopers in formation, and across on the west side, you see in the white bands, the Federal blue, those are Marines, and directly behind them, those are the New York Zouaves, the 14th Brooklyn, dandy-looking soldiers. They wore paper ties in the battle. They looked like they didn't get all dolled up. Cavalry is going to reform further back. So file by file, the soldiers would continue loading and firing until another command was given. It was sometimes fired by front rank or rear rank, and oftentimes they would be given fire by battalion, which would mean all the companies load and fire at the same time. All of these commands are given by the company commanders or the battalion commanders. Looks like the Federals are bringing in reserves. Their numbers are multiplying, and usually that was the case during the Civil War, the Second War of Independence, or the War of Northern Aggression, or the War between the states, depending on your opinion of the times. The federal troops almost always outnumber the Confederate. Now you have two different fronts. The Union forces to the east with the Marines, the 14th Brooklyn, and another federal unit. It's hard to say that the 75th Ohio, 3rd Maine, Connecticut troops. In 1862, Brooksville Trench Confederate troops are dug in behind some earthworks. That could have been a creek, Ronnie Creek is, or even but here we've learned, enabled them to be well hidden. You see the Federals are picking up several berms outside of some of the larger towns in the area where major action took place. The locals would establish some form of earthworks to form up to protect their men. The troops would dig earthworks, pile up debris, enable them to fight in a safer situation. You can notice also that the federal troops seem to be pretty much uniform in their dress. The common federal uniform was a blue sack coat. Call it a sack coat because had a collar, 3 to 5 buttons. Those that come down past the belt line. Also see some artillery crew, stainless steel dresses, long artillery and cavalry or a shell jacket. Sometimes we bring these back, manufacturers to save on material. Their pants for the enlisted were what's known as sky blue. There were two Confederates wore a banana Union style, sack coats, shell jackets, and frock coats. Every year of the Confederacy, there was another white tie, slouch hat, pork pie, which is a little short hat, small brim, all the way around, orange, straw hat. A group of sailors, the 2nd U.S. Cavalry, Florida Cavalry, which was the Union Route, and the 2nd U.S. Colored Troops. There were 120 in the 2nd U.S. and there were 120 troopers in the 2nd U.S. Florida. This part, their boats, Lot 7 and Bayport, that was north of the Annual River. And their destination was this small town of Brooksville. And they suspected that there were military supplies and a military. So, on the Battle of Nassau, July 1864, confronted 18 Confederate pickets to their breakfast. They captured 7 July 9th, they encountered 4 pickets from the 1st Battalion of the Special Cavalry, Cal Cavalry were similar to Humber units. They were some veterans that were called back home because of their experience in the cattle business, handling cattle, herding cattle, catching and being cattle hunters. They formed up so that the Cal Cavalry protect the Florida, to the north, to places like Auburn, Pensacola, Biloxi, so that they could feed the soldiers of the Western and Eastern Theater. The Western Theater would have been Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky. The Eastern Theater, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, they were no longer able to get so they were that's why Florida became so important during the Open States. And they wanted to disrupt that. Federals wanted to disrupt those cattle. But these pickets encountered continued to march in, including and destroying plantations. Plantations of four very prominent Floridians, David Hope, who the Hope family, Samuel Hope, Captain Samuel Hope, Wildcats, Leroy Leslie, Leslie family, very prominent in Tampa in this area, Thomas Ellis and William Hooker. July 10th, the U.S. troops rendezvoused with their boats at Bayport, and they left. The interesting thing was they were unable to capture any of the cannon and things that were stored in the port. They just missed that chance. That was May of 1864. It was kind of a running battle. It engaged the troops that had been engaged in the Lusty in February of that same year. The Lusty was the largest engagement in the war, and it late February 1864. It's known by two names. Many of the battles of the Confederates would name those battles. Federal troops that had occupied Jacksonville started a march down the railroad east towards Lake City. And they were moving to sever the Confederate supply lines and investigate the salt. The Gulf Coast was littered with salt works, and salt was so important to very huge. And the Federals did a lot of mischief wrecking and raiding these salt works, interrupting the cattle drives from Fort Myers all the way to North Florida. As the Federals Confederates, and it became a pretty heavy fighting. Confederate infantry had pulled in his reserve, and what eventually happened was retreat by Phoenix, well known. Federal Union flag troops toward Massachusetts and the 35th U.S. Counter troops. That took place in 1864, and then shortly after the U.S. battle memorialized the Brooksville Raid. The Federals did retreat back to Jacksonville, and then later on, because their efforts failed in capturing the capital, they started to move the Gulf Coast up the St. Marks River. And in March of 1865, shortly before the end of
Finally starting to see some dead people.
they engaged and destroyed some troops in an attack. It was protected by vessels. And started only approaches to Natural Bridge. playing field. And questions always asked, who does? Well, it's pretty easy. They decide on their own. They will assign lotteries and your chosen your course to your course. And they'll tell you to take a hit over the road, take a hit. Standing, if someone is actually hurt on the field, they will stop and administer emergency first aid. Everything goes to a halt. You look out right here over the pine tree. Behind the pine tree, you see the guys dressing. They start because they get food tomorrow. As much as we can, as accurate as possible, represent what occurred in the history of our country.
Moving in.
Contractors that would contract out work. From Maryland to Gettysburg, 1863, the people of the towns from Maryland devoted to their country, devoted to their comrades, devoted to their commanders. It was also when a group of people, a group of young men, when they decided to muster into the federal service, they would go in the township and what would come to the Brooksville during this time, third floor, it would be a lot of members of that community that would know each other. And once they were divided up into platoons and squads, they would form friendships, obviously, with their friends. They would form messes, and a mess was a group of men that fought together, supported each other, and so that would be called a mess. Either mess from the term mess tent or mess camp or mess hall. To try to make life more comfortable. Knowing that not all the troops could be right. Somebody created a company. This is the regimental flag on the federal side. The flag bearer was shot and killed. And not long before that flag hit the ground, another man stepped up, grabbed the flag. It was something that is hard to explain other than the fact that they were such fight to the death to protect the cause and capturing the flag during that fire a final salute at some point. It looks like things have scale engagement in any area during the Civil War time, there were hundreds and hundreds of casualties. And after the battle cleared, it was pretty much understood that the corpsmen and the troops on either side were going to go out, and they basically would administer first aid to both sides.
Is this when they have like a truce?
Immediately following
Traffic goes.
south under the big oak tree, you see white camp. It's where there's going to be an interesting medical scenario you don't want to say. So instead of rushing to your car, take your time. We have a flag, retirement, and a salute.
Oh no, you're good, fine, man.
So they
Reform Company.
used to sell.
That's it. That's the battle. Reenactment Brooksville Raid. 47th annual on January 21st. Stonewall Jackson's birthday. 2017.
Resurrect. Again. Mr. Munson just gave me the thumbs up.